Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just a quick one. I'm driving in the car and I get a few questions here and there asked on my Instagram. My DMs are always open. If the question or the connection is sincere and it's well written and it's communicated from the heart, I will engage with it. Um, and I want to share my thoughts on something that I commonly explain to people a lot, and I don't think people truly understand it. And it doesn't bother me, but it just keeps coming up a lot around where we're at in terms of the New Age movement and in terms of how tarot cards have kind of trickled into the collective now in this kind of very consumable way where lots of decks are now being made and a lot of them are now capitalizing on constructs for all different aspects, like off TV shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Game of Thrones tarot card deck, gummy bears, like any Disney, like anything that's consumerized, anything that is pre-existing from an archetype of kind of riding the wave a little bit, I guess you could say, of the high and the hype of a TV show, and then using and piggybacking off the characters from a TV show and making them archetypes in the tarot. And it's getting really weak. It's, if you're in the tarot world, you have to know what I'm talking about. I need to remind everyone, and I want to talk about this. The tarot is, although yes, it is becoming more mainstream, this is a very serious tool that is used to communicate with the spiritual world. That's what tarot is. That's what divination is. So, as everything is kind of getting reduced to very kind of snatch and grab, easily digestible, light and fluffy, and cute imagery and archetypes with the tarot, this is still playing around with something that is strong, that is dangerous. There is danger in communicating with things that you don't understand. And this is something that I'm not gatekeeping here. Hey, do do whatever the fuck you want. What I am saying is there will be consequences. Okay, when you put your antenna up to the spiritual world, and I don't care whatever reason it is for, that's your priority, that's your prerogative, you are already communicating with the other side, okay, with other sides, plural, in the universes, plural, okay? So one of the key um, elements that I bring up, or one of the key phrases that I commonly use when I'm talking to friends or even clients that I've had before is, once the garden gate is open, it's open. The latch is never locked. Okay? Once the garden gate is open, the latch is never locked. The spiritual world has been around, is the basis of all things. This is not something that we're kind of like, it's coming to us now. It was already there. We came from it. All things come from the spiritual world. All physical things came from a non-physical thing. So I don't see the respect for the craft, and it's kind of gone the way that it's gone now, and that's what it is. But I'm just saying that when we fuck around with spirit, spirit likes to fuck around with us. And if you're evoking something that you don't really know what you're doing, and you're dabbling, that's a word that comes up a lot for me. I want to clarify my very strong thoughts on this. There is no dabbling in the craft. There is no dabbling in the left-hand path. You must commit and immerse yourself to it if you expect to create some level of result in your life. It's not something that you can just touch and go, and then come back to it when you feel like it, or, because what you've done, you're actually opening a doorway or a porthole to communicate and connect with energies that are there. And so it's very important to know that when you're doing this for real, not just like a fluffy bunny witch kind of thing, is that when you are doing this, you've got to take into account so many factors that would need to be considered before you even decided to do it. Okay? For example, have you got kids? Do you have kids in your house? Well, my strong thoughts on that is you shouldn't be doing anything in the occult world around kids. And why is that? Well, because kids are magical times like 100. They're very magical. They're very open. Their sensory systems to the occult, to the spiritual world are very open. And bringing or making a pact or bonding or inviting or connecting with a spiritual being, sometimes you may not be able to see it. And the kid is going to be stuck with that thing in the house. So by bringing this into the house, you didn't really give the child or children the opportunity to not have that in the house. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to be very aware of what you're like. This is real, by the way. This is all real. And I take this very seriously. So it really upsets me when I just see where it's kind of gone. It seems to be all movies and TV and entertainment, but the spiritual world is not there for your entertainment. You are a novelty, if anything, to the spiritual world. Spirits, beings, they don't get tired and they don't care about your trivial human life. And particularly some of the more darker goetic ones that are out there. This is like a shark that swims around out in the universe, and to even summon that or bring that to you, you have to have a very specific energy frequency or blood type, or something that would attract that being to begin with. So bringing that to, calling that into yourself, into your home, it will have consequences. So remember, once the garden gate is open, the latch is never locked, and it's there. It would be no different if you had a symbol of Jesus, or if you had a symbol of Allah, or a symbol of any specific deity in your house, like a cross or a pentagram or a symbol or a sigil. These are tools, or these are calling cards that you've already got in your house. You've already pierced the veil. You're there. All right. So I just feel like sometimes I like to jump on and just say, hey, please be careful with what you're doing. Take the time to research what you're doing. There's no dabbling. And a lot of people come to spirituality or the occult for really the wrong reasons. They want to get something. But in terms of energy exchange, what are you prepared to give? And other than obviously blood is the spiritual currency, obviously, for obvious reasons. I can't go into that too much because this is a public platform, but time and energy in exchange for something, you can't get something for free. Nothing is free in the spiritual world either. So time doesn't work the same, like time in the spiritual world doesn't work the same as it works here. Okay. A million years could go out in the universe, and it wouldn't be a blink of the eye to the universe, because we measure time based on our own life cycles and the cycles of the planetary alignments here and our own existence on Earth, because we are part of this. But yeah, look, I'm just bringing this to your attention. And of course, if you are playing around with like a spirit board, they were very popular. Back after World War II, they went through a very big phase. There was more of them sold then. Monopoly boards because people were trying to communicate with ones that had crossed over. Look, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know who's there. A lot of trickster spirits will pop up. A lot of spirits that will be trapped in the house that you're doing it in will come forth. And it brings me to another point before I jump off this quick short podcast, is that it is said that if you could see all of the spiritual world between here and the sun, all of the dead things and all of the things that have come and gone before us, that it would block out the sun. Like, that's how much spiritual energies and entities and beings are out there. So just think about what you're doing. And if you're performing some level of reading for someone, I really hope that you're doing it for the right reasons and your heart really, truly is in the right place, that you are there for service. You're not there for entertainment, and you're doing it in some integrity, and you have some ethics for what you're doing, because ethics really are so important. You are going to cause so much trouble when you come to any level of spirituality and your heart's not in the right place. If you're coming to even a religion, like a lot of religions become incredibly evil when we sit in this dogmatic way of being and we're not there for the higher service and we haven't taken the time to really understand what it is. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it here. I hope that this video made some sense, and let me know what you think below in the comments below. Remember, once the garden gate is open, the latch is never locked, and you've just aligned something with yourself that may follow you, that may come into your house, that may, you just, and you just don't know. Like, that's part of this, is that you don't know what you're getting. So take your time if you're coming to this path, and be there for the right reasons. It's not TV. We must work with spirit as spirit works with us. It's an ongoing relationship that you would be cultivating with the spiritual world and with yourself for this to be authentic. It's not a genie in a bottle, okay? And I'm just going to leave it at that. But lots of love. I hope that you're having a great week. And I'm thinking of my next podcast, which will be the Venus series. So yeah, be well, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye for now. Bye.